Tre'Davious White has just signed with the Los Angeles Rams. So in today's episode, I'm going to be rebuilding the Los Angeles Rams, but with a new addition of Tre'Davious White and without Aaron Donald. Tre'Davious White's contract was only 1 year, $10 million. So overall, I think that was a steal for a player who's good when he's on the field. Obviously, he has a lot of injury problems, but for the Rams, they do need to fill a lot of holes on this team, but it could be very, very nice in the future with Kyren Williams looking very nice, Puka Nacua, Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Cameron Curl, the new free agency signing. So there are some young players on here, but there are also some very old veterans that we need to replace. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and or subscribe. The channel is growing quickly. Let's see if we can hit 100 likes on this video. I would appreciate that. But for my first pick in the draft, the Los Angeles Rams are selecting defensive back Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. In my previous Rams rebuild, I did pick up Chop Robinson. I think that's definitely a very viable option. But Nate Wiggins, very good defensive back, very fast defensive back out of Clemson. 97 speed, 97 acceleration, 6'1", 190, hidden dev, nice skills across the board. This is the team after the draft. I think I will move Steve, this left guard here, inside to center just because I don't have a center and I don't need two left guards, of course. Bingo, bango, bongo. That is done. Also in the draft, in the second round, I got Keon Coleman, so I'm going to move him to the slot here. I know he's like 6'4" in real life, so for right now, actually, I'm going to have Puka Nacua here, and then Keon Coleman, why not? Just make him the 2 since Puka Nacua is playing in the slot and as the number 3. Matthew Stafford, he is on the older side here. He is 36. Obviously, I won't be able to develop him. He'll only regress in Madden, but for right now, I'm just going to let him play another year with the team. Defensively, it definitely doesn't look bad. Nate Wiggins is an 81 overall. That's really nice. Harris, it looks like the AI picked up this guy, Marcus Harris out of Auburn, 6'2", 288, hidden dev. Not horrible skills, 83 strength, 85 stamina, injury, hit power, pursuit. Not the best either, but for a later pick with hidden dev, why not? At the midseason mark, we are 3-4, second in the division. Cardinals are somehow at the top of the division. Our team ranks are honestly really terrible, but we are coming off a win to the Vikings. We have 2 NFC players of the week. Matthew Stafford, 5 passing touchdowns to 1 interception, 1 sack, 35 rushing yards. Then Tre'Davious White, 6 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. For the scouting national focus, it's already set to QB. I think that's what I'm going to want to do. Though for the QB class, it looks kind of weak apart from Steven Nicholson and Cam Hayden out of Boise State and Kentucky. Interesting places to come from, but Cam Hayden actually kind of looks pretty sick here out of Boise State. 6'2", 235, elite throw power potentially, very nice athleticism, A's across the board. He looks pretty nice. And Steven Nicholson, 6'1", 234 out of Kentucky, A's across the board. Wow, way more athletic. This guy might be it. He looks super, oh my gosh, A awareness, A accuracy everywhere. This dude looks sick. Steven Nicholson, I might have to trade up to the number 1 pick to get this guy. For the players we did to negotiate, Ernest Jones, 24 years old. He's young. He has normal dev, but it's fine. I think I'll take this if he accepts this contract, and he does. Not going to accept Tutu Atwell. He just doesn't want to be here. Same thing with Bobby Brown. Rob Havenstein's too old. Kilo Witherspoon, I think he's a free agent right now, but he'll be a free agent in this simulation, so it really doesn't matter that much. Don't want Jimmy Garoppolo, of course. Everyone else here, I'm just not interested in. And in the playoffs, we finished 6-11, bottom of the division. There's no way the Cardinals go 8-9 and steal the division. That's crazy. Coming off a loss to the Chiefs. For the stats and awards, Matthew Stafford only with an 87 pass rating. That's terrible. The offense bad, defense just bad. Matthew Stafford, 24 touchdowns to 12 interceptions with only an 87 pass rating. Yeah, I think his time is up here. Kyren Williams, 13 touchdowns, 3.9 per carry, 1,000 yards. Not a bad season, 3.9 average. I'd like to get that up, but 13 touchdowns is nice. Puka Nacua, not even 1,000 yards for anyone on this team. Very nice distribution, though. Keon Coleman with 8 touchdowns, 900 yards. Puka Nacua, 4 yards shy of 1,000 yard season, 8 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, 5 touchdowns, 900 yards. Defensively, Ernest Jones, 122 tackles for a loss, 17 for Kobe Turner, sacks, 18.5 for Byron Young. That's X Factor. I don't care if you guys be like, oh, well, he should only go up to superstar. No, if you had 18 sacks in real life, you're getting X Factor. For the interceptions, 6 for Tre'Davious White. He's definitely getting a re-signing. Safeties on the team, 1 for Nick Hampton, 1 for Marcus Harris, the rookie. Defensive touchdowns, 0. And the Chiefs beat the Eagles once again in the Super Bowl. Nick Bolton is the Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow is the league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Rams. In the NFC West, Kelvin Beachum retires with the Cardinals. I honestly don't know who that is. For the team upgrades, Matthew Stafford regressed quite a lot. Surprisingly, Keon Coleman doesn't even get start Ev after having 8 touchdowns, 900 yards. For a rookie, that's a pretty nice season overall. Defensively, really, You get 18.5 sacks, and the league is like, the best we can do is star dev. So I gave him superstar X Factor, and for those of you guys saying, oh, well, that's too big of a jump, he should have only gone from star to superstar. In real life, if a player had 18.5 sacks in a season, do you think EA would be like, the best we can do is like star dev, superstar dev at best, but like no X Factor? No, they're going to give them X Factor in real life, so I am being realistic here with this. Nate Wiggins goes up to superstar dev. That's pretty sick. Matthias and Ernest Jones both get star dev as well. Ernest Jones, 25 years old. I don't know why I was checking on that. But Matthias is 26. He was a 24-year-old rookie, so I don't know. Yeah, he definitely won't develop in time, being a 65 overall with star dev at 26 years old. But we definitely had some nice upgrades on the team. Kobe Turner, Harris, maybe a good duo here. Of course, Byron Young with 18.5 sacks is going to go crazy, and hopefully we can maintain Tre'Davious White's career if he stays healthy, because he had 6 interceptions for us, which was huge. For the players ready to negotiate, I have $111 million to spend. Everyone here, I already think I said no to, so I'm just going to move into free agency. After free agency, I got a new punter and a new kicker, and I also got Grover Stewart on a 1-year deal. It wasn't really a stacked free agency. Nick Chubb was there, but I'm fine with Kyron Williams with the way he is now. Don't really need to double stack him. But for now, let's move into the draft. Now I'm trading up to the number 2 overall pick in the draft from the Commanders, trading away my first round pick at pick number 9 this year, my next year's first round pick, and my this year's 3rd round pick to get the guy that I was eyeing before, because he looks like a baller. So I got Cam Hayden or even Steven Nicholas here. They're both really good. I'm going to take a look at Cam Hayden one more time to see if he gone up a little bit. His athleticism, elite throw power, nice athleticism, solid across the board. A's across the board, looks very nice. Physicals here. This guy doesn't look nearly as good as whenever I saw him before, but he still looks very, very athletic. Steven Nicholson, he has A awareness guaranteed, which is a good overall. So many A's across the board for his accuracy. I think I'm going to take Steven Nicholson here out of Kentucky, 6'1", 234, normal dev. That completely blows. Hopefully he gets Rookie of the Year, 83 speed, 89 acceleration, 92 throw power. He looks very good. He has A awareness. He's probably going to be like a 77 overall, but the normal dev really sucks after trading 2 first-round picks for him. In the 2nd round, picking up a new free safety, Deshaun Woods out of Oklahoma, 5'10", 219, 88 speed, 88 acceleration. Kind of slow for being a safety, especially for being a 5'10". I would like you to be faster, but still, hidden dev, A awareness, B-man coverage, B hit power. He looks nice. And I called it. Steven Nicholson, 77 overall. Again, the normal dev really, really sucks, but for now, it is what it is. Matthew Stafford, 37 years old. The only reason to keep him is because he has the mentor tag, and if I cut him, I lose $5 million in cap. So since I do have the money to keep him, and technically he's a mentor, I know he's an expensive mentor, I'll just keep him for now and then cut him next year. But for the rest of the offense, it's looking pretty nice. I still need offensive tackles. That's something I need to work on. Defensively, the D-line looks pretty nice here. Nicely filled out. Woods is a 76 overall. That's really nice. The secondary is really, really being filled out here. I like that a lot. But for now, let's move into the midseason. 3-3, second in the division here. The Cardinals are 0-6 this time. Scouting national focus, I think it definitely has to be offensive tackle here. $126 million to spend. Tre'Davious White balled out for us last year. Team doesn't have a franchise QB, so I'm going to wait on that because that's his like lowest thing right now. So maybe in the future he'll change his mind about that. Kyron Williams doesn't want to be here. He doesn't like our scheme fit. I always have to deal with this. I'm just going to overpay for him. He resigns. Cameron Curl, absolutely. I want you back. You're young. You have star dev. You're good overall. He resigns. Jonah Jackson. This is not a bad contract. I'll increase his money a little bit since he really doesn't want to be here, and he resigns on that. Quentin Lake, no. Grover Stewart. Honestly, not a bad, I was about to say not a bad contract. I don't want to pay you $17 million to be 32 years old next season. I'm going to wait for you to regress so that way I can give you a cheaper contract. Everyone else here, not really interested in. Tyler Higbee's going to be way too old. He's going to drop below like a 74, I think. Darius Williams here as well. He's pretty old. And then Tre'Davious White, I'll deal with in the offseason. 10-7, second in the division, making the playoffs. I would say that's good enough for a franchise quarterback. And we did trade away our this year's first round pick. So either way, it was definitely a good thing that we made the playoffs, because if I had no playoff run and no first round pick, I'd be in some trouble here. But anyways, coming off a loss to the Niners, who took the division over us in week 18, so that kind of blows. Stats and awards, Steven Nicholson, not much better than Matthew Stafford, but at least he has a future. 16th best offense, 4th best defense. 20 interceptions to 29 touchdowns, like really blows. Hopefully he improves that, but 3,800 yards isn't horrible for a rookie. Kyron Williams, 12 touchdowns, 4.4 per carry, 1,200 yards, really nice season from him. Kua, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, 12 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Karen Coleman, almost 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. Defensively, Ernest Jones, 130 tackles for a loss, 16 for Kobe Turner, sacks, 7.5 for Kobe Turner. Byron Young, huge step back from last season, but still, It's not horrible, but definitely not worth an X factor. Interceptions, 3 for Quinton Lake and Tre'Davious White. Safeties on the team, 1 for Kobe Turner. Defensive touchdowns is 0. Let's see if we can beat the Green Bay Packers to move on to the divisional round with our rookie QB who threw 20 interceptions. We do not. 35-21. Defense doesn't hold up very well. Let's move into the offseason. And the Eagles finally win the Super Bowl this time, beating the Ravens and Derrick Henry. Saquon Barkley wins the Super Bowl MVP. Lamar Jackson wins the league MVP. And there are no awards here for the Rams. In the NFC West, Matthew Stafford retires, so I don't have to worry about his cap hit anymore. And also Cam Hayden, the QB that I passed up on for Steven Nicholson, won Rookie of the Year, which really sucks for me, but it is what it is. For the team upgrades, Nicholson, no upgrade. Not a surprise. He threw 20 interceptions. Don't see any other upgrades offensively. Defensively, what do we got? Woods comes with star dev. Quinton Lake gets star dev. I don't know if I really want to re-sign him. Everyone else here, no dev upgrade. $175 million to spend. So for Tre'Davious White, I'm going to completely overpay for him since he's 31 and he is regressing. I'll work down his contract as he regresses, but I'll overpay for this. He's been really good for us and he re-signs. Quinton Lake, he does have star dev. It's actually a cheap contract. I'll keep him as depth since it's a cheap contract and we have so much money to spend. Darian Kendrick, don't want. Grover Stewart goes from $16 million to $10 million. This is why I waited to give him this contract, and he resigns for 1 more year. Everyone else here, they're just old, don't really want them. Let's move into free agency. After free agency, I got a new left tackle in Ronnie Stanley. He is superstar dev. He's kind of old, but it's fine. Need an offensive tackle. Got Odafe Away, who had high interest, and then as soon as he signed, he just wasn't interested. I'm going to move him down to rush right end, and then Roger McCrary as a DB number 3. In the second round, because I didn't have a first round pick, getting a new right tackle, Greg Childress out of Auburn. Normal dev really sucks, but he's 6'5", 318, 86 strength is nice for a rookie. A lot of A's and B's across the board. I thought he would at least have star dev. And in the 4th round, picking up defensive tackle Matt Hooks out of LSU, 6'1", 285, 86 strength, hidden dev. He does have F tackle, only took him because he had A finesse moves and some solid athleticism. So for a 4th round pick, it's not bad. Now this is the team after the draft. Childress is a 73 without the boost. I mean, not books. I said books. But Coolidge, it looks like the AI drafted. I didn't draft him. Looks like my AI has honestly everything he needs to succeed. Puka Nacua, Keon Coleman, Cooper Kupp, nice offensive line, Kyron Williams. Don't really have the best tight end set here, but it's fine. He has a nice offensive line in front of him. He just needs to produce numbers. Defensively, though, Hooks is a 64 overall. We're going to move him to the defensive tackle number 3. McCrary at the 3 here. Quinton Lake, Cameron Curl. Very nice defense here. The linebackers aren't crazy. Ernest Jones is nice. And I got some depth players on the outside here. Overall, I think this team is very solid. 85 overall. Definitely a very solid team in Madden Simulation. Hopefully, Steven Nicholson actually puts 2 and 2 together here and actually gets us into the playoffs and does more than just be a first-round exit. So let's move into the midseason for the 3rd year. 1-6, bottom of the division. We are balling. My defense is 32nd in the league. Make that make sense. It doesn't, dude. Coming off our first win to the Cardinals, Steven Nichols here. 5 passing touchdown performance, but only 194 yards. So Kyron Williams probably did most of the work. Then he just vultured his touchdowns off of him. For the scouting national focus, I'm going to do linebacker here. For the players ready to negotiate, Puka Nacua, 5-year deal for him. He's going to get a bag, and he resigns. Byron Young, absolutely, I want him back. He has X factor. He's young, and he resigns. Tre'Davious White, team still wants a franchise QB. Maybe, again, that changes at the end of the year, so I'm going to wait once again. Kobe Turner, he's 27 here, but I'll give him a 4-year deal. He's going to get paid a lot of money, and he resigns. Cooper Kupp, he's been putting up numbers for us, but I'm going to wait till the end of the year until he regresses so I can give him a cheaper contract. My center, he doesn't want to be here. He wants to have a mentor at his position, but he also doesn't like the scheme fit, so I'll just overpay for him, and he resigns as well. Everyone else here, they're just filler players. I don't really want Grover Stewart anymore. He's going to be a little bit too old to resign. And then, of course, Cooper Kupp, Tre'Davious White, I'll wait till the end of the year because they're both an 89 overall. And Cooper Kupp's going to be 34, Tre'Davious White is going to be 32. But for now, let's move into the playoffs, which we're definitely not going to make at this point. 6-11, 3rd in the division, but at least we get our 1st round pick this year. Why is my defense so trash? I know I don't have the best linebackers, but the 32nd best rushing defense with the defensive line that I have seems kind of crazy. And then with the secondary, and I have an 87 overall defense, and I have the 30th best defense in the league in terms of points per games. That doesn't seem right at all, and offensively, I'm just going to blame it on my quarterback. Stats and awards, Steven Nicholson, he's getting better. 97 pass ratings, better than 88. Offense 26, defense 27th. Great. Steven Nicholson, 3,700 yards, 30 touchdowns to 15 receptions. He needs a better ratio. He can't have 2 touchdowns to 1 reception, but 97 pass rating. He's improving. Hopefully he has a breakout season next year. Kyren Williams, 5.0 per carry, 12 touchdowns, 1,300 yards is a great season from him. Puka Nacua, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, 8 touchdowns, 900 yards. Keon Coleman, 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. Defensively, Ernest Jones, 126 tackles for a loss, 16 for Odafe Away, sacks, 8.5 for Byron Young, 7.5 for Odafe Away, 7.5 for Kobe Turner. I guess Byron Young had one really good season, then just kind of, I mean, he didn't fall off. He's still having solid seasons, but it's not X-Factor worthy seasons. Interceptions, 3 for Tre'Davious White. Safeties on the team is 0 defensive touchdowns, is 1 for Tre'Davious White. And the Chiefs beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl MVP. Dak Prescott wins the league MVP with the Cowboys. And there are no awards here for the Rams once again. In the NFC West, Derek Carr retires in the Seahawks and Tyler Lockett retires in the Cardinals. That's weird for both of them. For the team upgrades, Kevin Dotson gets superstar dev. Okay, that's sick. Puka Nacua is finally above Cooper Kupp because he's regressed too far. Defensively, what do we have? Any upgrades at all? None that I can see here. Byron Young, I guess I'm just going to keep the X Factor on him. He's only an 85 overall at this point. But you know what? I'll just be realistic. I usually don't regress the dev trait, but whenever you go from having 18.5 sacks in one season, going from star to a superstar X Factor immediately, then you have back-to-back seasons where they're solid seasons, they're just not double-digit sacks. He went from having 18.5 sacks, monster season, to having only single-digit sacks. I mean, it's still, again, a solid season. It shouldn't be demoted completely down because he did have the 18.5 sacks and he is a solid edge rusher, but it's definitely not X-Factor worthy. So for now, I'm just going to leave it at superstar. For the players ready to negotiate, Nate Wiggins, I'll accept that option. Tre'Davious White still doesn't think we have a franchise QB. That's honestly fair. I'll just pay him a bunch of extra money for the final season. Same thing with Cooper Kupp. I have a lot of money to spend, so I'll just give it to him as well. 69 million, nice. Everyone else just doesn't really want to be here. I don't want Grover Stewart back. And apart from that, $69 million to spend. Nice. Let's move into free agency. After free agency, I got right tackle Ryan Ramczyk, defensive tackle Eric Armstead, who is a 6'7". Oh my God. I didn't know he was 6'7". I was about to say superstar X Factor, and then I looked at his height. I didn't know he was that tall. Damn. Anyways, Luke Musgrave as a tight end, and then Cole Holcomb as a depth linebacker. In the first round, picking up defensive tackle Dan Ellington out of Penn State. We had one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL, so apparently I'm just going to pick up more defensive tackles here. There wasn't any good run-stopping linebackers out there, so for outside linebackers. So for right now, run stopper out of Penn State, 6'4", 317 hidden dev, 89 strength, 84 acceleration, A tackle, A player, B finesse moves, and B hit power. In the second round, getting left outside linebacker Corey Crocker out of Oregon, 6'1", 227 hidden dev, 85 speed, 91 acceleration is really nice, A awareness, B pursuit, and A man coverage. Now this is the team moving into the fourth and final season. The AI picked up this guy named Freeman, a tight end who has star dev, Harden, who is star dev as well as a backup running back. I think I built a solid team. Just Nicholson has honestly just been a bust for me so far. Hopefully he lowers his interceptions. Crocker is a 73 overall. Darrell Washington I got in the third round. He's a 73. No dev, but Crocker is 71 with a dev. And then Ellington is 76 overall. That's nice. He's still going to be a third string here because I have so much depth here. And it looks like the AI picked up Richardson, which I got these guys a lot earlier. I think my team is solid. Again, Stevenson just needs to step up and just do something for me. But apart from that, guys, it is the fourth, possibly the final season. Let's move into it. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off a loss to the Vikings. We finished 11-6, second in the division. The Seahawks finished top of the division, 13-4. For the team ranks, my defensive rushing game is improved, and I actually have the #1 defense in the league, but the 25th best offense. So I guess my quarterback does just suck. Stats and awards. 4th in passing yards, 100 pass rating, 29 passing touchdowns, 6th best offense, 7th best defense. So my quarterback doesn't necessarily suck. Still throwing a little bit too many interceptions, but it's not horrible. I guess he's slowly improving. Kyren Williams, 4.9 per carry, 7 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. Only 7 touchdowns isn't that good, but 4.9 is very nice. Puka Nacua, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, great season. Keon Coleman, finally over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, 900 yards, 4 touchdowns. Defensively, Ernest Jones, 122 tackles for a loss, 19 for Eric Armstead, sacks, 11.5 for Byron Young. Finally, he gets back to another double-digit sack season. Odafe Away with 10.5 sacks. Kobe Turner with 8.5 sacks. Interceptions, 2 for Nate Wiggins. Only a total of 4 interceptions throughout the entire year. Not even one for Tre'Davious White. That's interesting. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. Let's see if we can beat the 12-5 Eagles. They're a 90 overall team. That doesn't really matter in Madden, of course, with my team as well. 28-20, we beat them. 13-4 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at their home. They're an 88 overall team. We haven't even made it this far in the playoffs in this entire rebuild. Don't want to end off on a loss here. Let's see what we got. Here we are against the Buccaneers. They're going to start out with 7, and we're going to punt immediately. And then they're going to put another 7 on the board. Then we're going to punt immediately. And then we're going to do nothing again. Good job, offense. You're balling out here. Doing a really good job. Really good job here. 6-21. Offense, do something. My offense blows, dude. It's so bad. 6-24. This is going to be a failed rebuild. I'm sorry to whoever watched this far. Tre'Davious White did good. Steven Nicholson is what screwed me. This guy is not at all what I thought he was going to be. 45% completion percentage. He sucks. This guy is so bad. Anyways, guys, apart from that, it sucks to end off the video like this. Can't rebuild the team in 4 years. It's a failed rebuild, but let me know which rebuild you want me to do next, and I'll make sure to take note of it. But apart from that, guys, thank you guys all once again for watching. Make sure you like and or subscribe. We lost to Desmond Ridder, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.